Hi, this is Derek Murphy from creativity.com. I'm going to talk a little bit about going to writing conferences or book conferences, especially stuff like book signings or book fairs where you have a table and you're trying to sell your books. It's something that I haven't recommended doing in the past because there are better ways to spend your time and your money online. So there are better ways to sell books online. I like to focus on digital book sales, so I try to sell tons of books on Amazon or Kindle. I would rather spend $100 on advertising to get leads or to get sales on Amazon than to spend money going to a conference, especially because I've been at some writing conferences where you'll spend $500 for a plane ticket to get there, you'll spend a couple $100 on the table, you'll spend a couple $100 on print materials, and those conferences might have, 100 real readers. So you're spending a lot of money to reach 100 readers, whereas you can reach 10,000 readers on Facebook for $100. So it's really a money thing. However, I also wouldn't go to a conference with one book or a couple books. I wouldn't go to any general conferences that are just like writing related because you'll end up with a lot of authors and you don't want to be selling your book to other authors. You want to be finding your readers of that genre. But if you can find a really big event that's going to have a lot of perfect readers who are going to enjoy your type of book, it can be advantageous sometimes to do events. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I would do events well, and some of the things I'm planning for an event I'm doing soon. I actually wasn't going to even consider events until, like right now, I'm putting out half books. So they're kind of like, I'm building my platform so that I can sell books later. So I'll soon have 5 half books that are about 50,000 words each. So 250,000 words. I do have them put out as print versions, so I could print them all out and go to conferences, but I feel kind of weird selling the print books because they're half books. They don't conclude, they kind of end in the middle, which isn't great if you're selling a print book. It is pretty good. I'm giving them away for free on Kindle and online, so that means I can give them away to build my email list. I give away about 10,000 a month, and I get about 1,000 people signed up to my email list a month that are real readers. So they're people who liked my fiction and they want to read part 2 or they want to read the rest of the book. So for me, I use them because it's cheaper for me to, I was making a couple thousand a month on book sales, but instead of earning that money and spending a lot of money on book marketing and promotion, because I've been really busy with my PhD and stuff, it's easier for me just to make them all free so that everything builds on autopilot. I get more traffic, I get new fans, I get new book reviews, and I'm not doing anything, and it's free. Eventually, when my list is up to 20 or 30,000 readers, when I launch new fiction, everything will be so much easier. I won't have to do any book marketing or promotion or anything, because the thing is with sales, you don't want to be marketing all the time because then you won't earn any money and it takes a lot of your time and effort. What you want to happen is you launch really well, you get a lot of reviews, and your book sticks in the bestseller lists so that you might do some promotion like every couple months to boost your rank again, but you shouldn't have to be constantly marketing or promoting. And so that's also why I wouldn't go to events all the time, but soon we're gonna fly to Europe because to do some research. I have one book set in Bulgaria and I have one book set in Ireland, so I want to see some of those places that I talk about in those books. But there's a Comic-Con at the end of the month in London, and since we're going to be kind of flying through, I decided to stay and to book a table. So that means I have to make the best use of that time because I'm going to have a table. This Comic-Con will probably have a couple thousand people. There's a young adult section with a lot of young adult best-selling authors that I can buy my way into, which is kind of nice because there's another area that's kind of like the small press, but I can pay to get a table in the young adult book section, which I feel a little intimidated by because I am a self-publishing author and I know my materials aren't super professional compared to traditionally published authors. However, I can get in that space and I can do things that nobody else is doing to really get the traffic. So maybe because people go to these conferences and they wander around, they look for cool stuff, but they're not all gonna buy books. Like if you're only selling books, you're losing a huge opportunity, because out of 1,000 people, maybe 2 or 3 will buy your book. Maybe 100 will take your flyer, and that's about it. You want to increase the chances that you'll get people to be aware of your work and to take action. So for example, I put up a post with some of the ideas that I'm going to do for this conference. But for example, in my print materials, I printed off postcards that feature, on one side it's an offer. So it says, come sign up to my website and get a free starter library of these 5 books. On the other side, it's the same poster I ordered with MOO.com, which has really good print materials. So you pay one order, but you can change the back of the postcard. So I have one side that's the same, and on the other side I have, it features my 5 different books. So I have 5 different variations. So when I have my table, I can lay out, 5 different stacks, which show different things. I probably won't even bring any real books because I don't really want to carry the books. I don't want to sell books there. But basically I'll say, sign up on my website to read for free. And then I have a bunch of, instead of a description of each book, I just have a lot of reviews, because reviews are usually more believable than description. Because everybody else, when you self-publishing authors sell a book, you have a description about the book, which is sort of effective, but usually not as effective as reviews in quotes from real readers. I also say, I have join 8,000 other young adult readers. I kind of give some social proof so that they know I'm moderately successful. My books are reviewing well. My graphic design is really good, so I have that going for me. But it's still not enough, because even if I'm giving away an offer, I want them to take action now. So I'll also probably have some sort of a game. I printed up stickers that say, I think they say I'm really a mermaid. I forget. I'm actually a mermaid. Anyway, some cool stickers that are high quality. I have some little mermaid silver charms that I ordered that I can give away for free. Probably what I'll do is say, I'll have there's apps you can get to sign up for an email list right away. So I can say, sign up to my reader list and get a free sticker or a free charm. I could have a game that they play to win a free thing at my table. Ideally, if I was doing this, what I want to do was print off mini booklets. So instead of printing the actual book, I would print the first 30 pages, and I'd make really cute, really small, like this size, I don't know, A6, which is 1/4 of an A4 piece of paper, because that way I could have 5 sample books, and they could choose one that they wanted, and they would be really cute little books with the first 30 pages or so of the story. Because you also want to get people, just like your website, you want to get people to stick around at your table. You don't want to be standing there weirdly and awkwardly smiling at people when they come up, because it's weird. They may want the space. They may avoid you if you're just a table with someone standing behind it. What you want is to have a crowd around your table doing something, playing the game, reading your books. If you have them have to choose between these little booklets, then they'll actually read the story, which is brilliant, because those 30-page samples, those excerpts of your books, they might stand there for 10 or 15 minutes reading each of those books to see which one they want to take home with them. And then you're also giving them the offer to get all those 5 books for free on your website when they sign up to your email list. So I think that collectively, that would be the best way to maximize your space at any kind of conference or event. If you have printouts, you don't even have to make them super polished and special. You could just print out little stacks, even even A4, if you printed off 10 10-page excerpts of each of your books and A4 paper, just to give them something that they can start reading right away, because they're not going to trust you when you say this is a great book. But if you can get them reading right away, right there when you're at the table, that's going to work the best. Because otherwise they'll go home, they'll take your materials, but they may never actually get online and sign up or do anything. If you can get them to sign up to your email list right there at your table, that's the best. So I might also have, I've done contests before. I do contests a lot on my platform, on my blogs. I might do something like win a free package of young adult books, or win a free trip, or even like, normally you wouldn't want to give away like a $100 Kindle card on the internet, because you'll get tons of random people to sign up. But if you're going to like this conference will be a young adult book area, so the people in that area are going to be young adult readers. So if I'm giving away $100 a Kindle card at that event only for those people, that's probably going to be okay, because most of those people are going to be actually real readers. If I can get them on my list, later I can email them and build a relationship and say, thanks for signing up, you didn't win, but here are my 5 free books. I'd love your feedback. I wouldn't put them in like my normal fan list right away. I would put them in a separate email list just for that event, because you don't want to just throw them into kind of the mix. You want to know where they came from. So if they signed up, you want to get your money's worth. So like if I go to this conference in London, it'll probably cost me $1,000 at least for a 3-day conference, which is a big investment. I would want to get 1,000 email subscribers out of that. That would be my goal. I'd want 1,000 people to sign up on my email list. And I'd want maybe 1,000 downloads. What I'm doing right now also with my free books is, instead of putting them on my website so they can download them directly, actually all I'm doing is I've made all the books perma-free on Kindle and other platforms already. So when they sign up to my email list to get my 5 free books, all I'm doing is giving them the links to those books on Amazon. So if I can get 1,000 people to sign up and download my books on Amazon, that's a huge boost in my rankings, which are already pretty high. I'm in like the top 1,000 on Amazon with no promotion for my free books. But if I can do a weekend event and get 1,000 downloads for each of my 5 books, I'd probably get up into the top 100 on Amazon, which would lead to more downloads, it's bigger exposure, builds my email list, more reviews. I'm doing all of this because towards the end of the year and next year, I'll start actually launching full books for sale, and I want to make some money. So I want to build my email list to my fan base as big as possible now, because otherwise, like, you can spend a lot of money on advertising, and I'll do that too, but if you've already built your list and you've already built a big, strong fan base, and if you've built a relationship with readers so that they actually know who you are and they care enough to go out of their way to share your launch, that's so much more effective than regular advertising or marketing. So that's kind of like, I'm basically, this whole year is just pre-marketing for book launches that are going to come next year, and I want to do them well. So it's almost too early to go to this conference in London. On the other hand, like if I can go to London and get 1,000 fans, the other kind of nice thing is, with the book giveaways, people sign up to win the books and then they share them to get more entries with some of these book giveaways. Like when I use King Sumo or Up Viral, or I don't use Rafflecopter anymore. I use another one called Gleam. But basically they encourage sharing. So if I can go to the book event and get 1,000 UK-based young adult readers on my email list, later when I can do another book contest and tell them about it, and they will share my book contest with their friends. So I'm kind of like, if you can get 100 people and they can share it with their friends, and you get 1,000 more people, that works great. But you have to get those first 100 people. So like, going to some events and getting some signups can be very advantageous if you use smart book marketing later to do more book contests to encourage viral sharing. So it's kind of the stuff that I'm working on. I have pictures. I'll put this on the post that I made about some of the marketing materials, because I also talk about whether you should be making bookmarks or business cards or whatever. I'm also going to make some templates. I have a lot of templates for print formatting and book cover design, but I'm going to start making templates for like promotional materials, so bookmarks and postcards and business cards. I'm going to make some simple graphic templates that you can just edit and use for your own books that'll look probably better than what you might otherwise end up with. Thanks, bye-bye.